about information age. What are the ideas when you heard it? Alright, if you don't have any ideas, we are going to discuss regarding this topic, and we expect that at the end of this video, you will learn how to define information age and its history, and understand the factors that need to be considered in checking website sources.
So let's get started with the definition of information age. So according to Webster Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary, information is knowledge communicated or obtained concerning a specific fact or circumstances.
So we all know that the information age is defined as a period starting in the last quarter of the 20th century when the information became effortlessly accessible through the applications and also through the management of the information by computers and computers networks. This means of conveying symbolic information among humans has evolved with increasing speed. The information age is also called the digital age and the new media age because it was associated with the development of computers. Also, according to James R. Messenger, who proposed the theory of information age in 1982, the information age is a true new age based upon the interconnection of computers via telecommunications, with this information system operating on both a real-time and as-needed basis. Furthermore, the primary factors driving this new age forward are convenience and user-friendliness, which in turn will create user dependence.
History of Information Age.
During 3000 BC, Sumerian writing used pictograms to represent words. Cuneiform is a system of writing first developed by the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia. It is considered the most significant among the many cultural contributions of the Sumerians and the greatest among those of the Sumerian city of Uruk. 2900 BC, beginning of Egyptian hieroglyphic writing. The Egyptians invented the pictorial script, which refers to any writing system that employs images as symbols for various semantic entities, rather than the abstract signs used by alphabets. Parang simple din sila ng Sumerian writings. Kadalasan ginagawa ng mga Egyptian na gayahin ang mga shapes or images na nakikita nila sa paligid to symbolize as alphabets and to make words. Egyptians first used hieroglyphs exclusively for inscriptions carved or painted on temple walls. During 1300 BC, tortoiseshell and oracle bone writing were used. Oracle bones inscriptions were some of the earliest forms of Chinese writing. Ancient Chinese characters were carved onto animal bones or tortoiseshells before the advent of paper and ink writing systems. Oracle bones were generally used for religious purposes such as spiritual divination or for record keeping. Bali, ito yung unang ginagamit ng mga sinaunang Chinese sa pag-ukit sa shells ng bagong bago dumating ang tinta at ang papel sa kanilang lugar. Kadalasang ginagamit nila ito sa religious purposes, katulad ng spiritual divination or panghuhula at for record keeping. During 500 BC, papyrus roll was used. Papyrus is a writing material of ancient times and also the plant from which it was derived. Sa papyrus, also called paper plant. The papyrus plant was cultivated in the Nile Delta region in Egypt and was collected for its stalk or stem, whose central bit was cut into thin strips, pressed together and dried to form a smooth, thin writing surface. Yung panahon yung sinaunang Egyptian, gumagamit sila ng halaman na tinatawag na papyrus upang gawing isang writing material.
In 2020 BC, Chinese small seal writing was developed. The small of seal script or Qin script is an archaic form of Chinese calligraphy. It was standardized and promulgated as a national standard by the government of Qin Shi Huang, the founder of the Chinese Qin dynasty.
100 AD book, Parchment Codex. A codex is an ancient book that is made of sheets of parchment, vellum, papyrus, or other materials, and is bound together. It is the ancestor of the modern book and was likely invented by the ancient Romans. 105 AD woodblock printing and paper was invented by the Chinese. During the Song Dynasty in 990 to 1051 AD, Bisheng invented movable type printing. His creation was made out of Chinese porcelain during the time of 1041 to 1048. Today, Bisheng is known as a key contributor to the invention of printing as one of the four great inventions of ancient China. 1455, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press using movable metal type. Around 1450, German goldsmith Johannes Gutenberg introduced the metal movable type printing press in Europe. Along with innovations in casting the type based on a matrix and hand mold, the small number of alphabetic characters needed for European languages was an important factor. 1755, Samuel Johnson's dictionary standardized English spelling. Samuel Johnson's Dictionary of the English Language is one of the most famous dictionaries in history. First published in 1755, the dictionary took just over 8 years to compile, required 6 helpers, and listed 40,000 words. 1802, the Library of Congress was established. On January 26, 1802, President Thomas Jefferson approved the first legislation that defined the role and functions of the new institution. The Library of Congress is the nation's oldest federal cultural institution and serves as the research arm of Congress. The primary function of the Library of Congress is to serve the Congress. In addition, the library provides service to government agencies, other libraries, scholars, and the general public.
For the past 5 years in the 1824, 1830s, 1837, 1861, 1976, there is a world of first computer and first computer program. So this is the example of the first digital computer in the world. It is called Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, or ENIAC. And full electronic numerical integrator and computer, the first programmable general purpose electronic digital computer. So it built during the World War II by the United States.
1877 to 1923. The Gilded Age was a period in American history that occurred between the Reconstruction era and the Progressive period.
This is the first magnetic recording was released, and television camera tube was invented by Zworykin.
1926, first practical sound movie. Jack Robin, that was called The Jazz Singer. American music film released in 1927. That was the first feature-length movie with synchronized dialogue. 1939, regularly scheduled television broadcasting began in the US. In April 1939, RCA's National Broadcasting Company, or NBC, introduced regularly scheduled electronic television broadcasting in America. The first television broadcast aired was the dedication of the RCA Pavilion at the 1939 New York's World's Fairground. It was introduced by David Sarnoff himself. 1940, beginning of the information science as a discipline. This innovation pointed to a new field of study in which many disciplines could be merged under the unifying idea of information. 1945, Vannevar Bush foresaw the invention of hypertext. Vannevar Bush is normally considered the grandfather of hypertext, since he proposed a system we will now describe as a hypertext system as long ago as 1945. This system, the MEMEX Memory Extender, was never implemented, however, but was only described in theory in Bush papers. 1946, ENIAC computer was developed. The Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, or ENIAC, was one of the world's first general-purpose computers.
1948, birth of breadth of information theory proposed by Claude E. Shannon. One of the key scientific contribution of the 20th century, Claude Shannon's a mathematical theory of communication created the field of information theory in 1948.
1957, planar transistor was developed by Jim Horn.
1st December 1957, physicist Jean Horney conceived the planar process, a technique used to manufacture essentially all silicon transistors and microchips. Today, not plastic bags, no metal screw, no cigarette butts. 1958, first integrated circuit. On 12 September 1958, Jack S. Kilby demonstrated the first working integrated circuit to managers at Texas Instruments. This is what first time electronic components were integrated onto a single substrate. The Library of Congress developed MARC in the 1960s. Their intent was to create a computer readable format that could be used for bibliographic records. Unix is a multi-user, multitasking operating system that was developed by Bell Laboratories in 1969.
1971, Intel introduced the first microprocessor chip. In November 1971, Federico Faggin invented Intel 404 and became the first general-purpose programmable processor on the market.
1972, optical laserdisc was developed by Philips and MCA. 1974, MCA and Philips agreed on a standard video disc encoding format. 1975, Altair microcomputer kit was released, first personal computer for the public. 1977, Radio Shack introduced the first complete personal computer. In 1977, Lewis Corfield, former president for the Radio Shack divisions of Tandy Corporation, named Radio Shack's first computer the TRS-80.
In 1984, the Apple Macintosh introduced a graphic user interface, GUI, to the Apple line of computers. The idea had originated at Xerox Palo Alto Research Center in the 1970s. In mid-1980s, artificial intelligence was separated from information science. Most of the 1980s showed a period of rapid growth in interest in AI, now labeled as the AI boom. This came from both breakthrough in research and additional government funding to support the researchers. Deep learning techniques and the use of expert systems become more popular, both of which allowed computers to learn from their mistake and make the independent decision. In 1987, HyperCard developed by Bill Atkinson received by Box Metapod. In 1991, 450 complete works of literature in one CD-ROM was released January 1997. RSA, Encryption and Network Security Software Internet. In 1997, RSA, Encryption and Network Security Software, Internet Security Code cracked for a 48-bit number. Ron Rivest, Adi Shimmer, and Leonard Adelman, who developed the RSA
Evaluation of Man and Information, Richard Warman called it Information Anxiety. Information anxiety, according to Warman in 1989, originated the idea of information anxiety by defining it as information anxiety. It is produced by ever-widening gap between what we understand and what we should understand. It is the black hole between data and knowledge.
Desktop compute as PC that is not designed for portability, so that it will be set up in permanent spot. Ibig sabihin, we cannot carry it and handle it anywhere we go. Dahil nga, it has more devices na kailangan i-connect through wires, katulad na lamang ng CPU or Central Processing Unit, screen monitor, keyboard, mouse, and speaker. Dahil dito, ang isang computer system ay mapafunction.
Laptops. Laptops are used in a variety of settings, such as work, especially on business trips, in education, for playing games, web browsing, for personal multimedia, and for general home computer use. They're also very helpful for students who struggle to take notes by hand and prefer to type.
Personal Digital Assistants, or PDAs, are tightly integrated computers that usually do not have keyboards but rely on the touchscreen for users.
Server. How do servers work? A server sends, receives, and stores data. Fundamentally, it serves something else and is there to offer services. A server can be a computer, piece of software, or even a storage device.
Mainframes. These are huge computer systems that can fill an entire room. These are used special by large firms to describe the large, expensive machines that process millions of transactions every day.
Wearable computer. A wearable computer, also known as a body-worn computer, is a computing device worn on the body. The definition of wearable computer may be narrow or broad, extending to smartphones or even ordinary wristwatch.
The World Wide Web, also known as the web, WW or W3, this page and documents are interconnected by means of hyperlinks that users click on for information. This information can be in different formats including text, image, audio, and video.
Application of computers in science and research. One of the significant applications of computers for science and research is evident in the field of bioinformatics. Bioinformatics is the application of information technology to store, organize, and analyze vast amount of biological data.
How to check reliability of web sources.
Look for an about or more about the author, a link at the top button or sidebar of the web page. Some pages will have a corporate author rather than a single person as an author. And if no information about the author of the pages is provided, be suspicious and also try to search the internet about the information of the author.
Book publish the site. How to find out. When we are reading books, we have always noticed the sites na naka-indicate as references na kung saan ikinuha ang isang informasyon na nakasulat sa isang libro. Ito yung mga sites na maaari nating bisitahin when we are gathering some informations na maaaring makatulong sa atin at kung may gusto tayong malaman na isang bagay. Halimbawa na lang sa paggawa ng research paper. Importante ang pagsulat at paglagay ng mga sites na pinagpaan natin ng mga informations para may suporta ang ating isinulat sa isang research paper.
What is the main purpose of the site? To sell a product? Nowadays, the whole world is coming online. One of the most common ways to make money online is to sell a physical or digital product. By making the customer journey as easy and seamless as possible, businesses have begun making millions online from selling products to online users.
Who is the intended audience? The audience of the source is a person or a group of people who were originally intended to see or use it. What is the quality of information provided on the website?
Number 5. This is a significant problem for the modern business because it threatens to undo much of the value that a successful information system has contributed.
Examples of useful and reliable web sources.